This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning. It is Friday. You made it. It's the weekend. Although for us, we'll be working all weekend anyways, because we'll be here tomorrow, post-game for the Canes. Obviously, Sean and I will be on at 4:30 to obviously go over the Canes win. I would expect over Texas A&M. Let's hope that they can stop the boys. So we'll see if Marcel Reed and company will cause problems for the Miami Hurricanes. Let's hope not. But let's see. We'll be there. We'll be talking about that. We'll have Manny on also. Manny will join us today.
in a little bit. We'll preview the Texas A&M game, and we'll talk about that matchup. Looking forward to it. It's the thing I'm looking forward to the most this weekend is that game because this is what we've been waiting for a while as Canes fans for decades. And so let's see if they are ready to start crossing that threshold of being one of those kind of teams that is going to be in the mix on a consistent basis, because a win tells you that that's what's going to happen. If you lose, then, same old, and all that. And got to go back to the drawing board and, hope that the next year is the year that they do it and then Mario gets enough talent and all that kind of stuff. So we really don't want to go down that road. We want to go down the road that the progress road, which would be really, really cool on Saturday afternoon, that we're talking about a big win on the road in a hostile environment against an SEC team, all these kind of things that you are not supposedly right anymore. You haven't been in a long time. Well, let's see if you can get back into the mix. So I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, Heat last night, all they needed was to play a really shitty team so they can snap their losing streak. They beat the Nets. We'll see what happens tonight in Boston, okay? Beating the Nets is not really that impressive, to be quite honest. I'm glad that they won. I didn't really watch much of it, to be quite honest. I watched the highlights after, but I didn't really watch much of the game at all because it's the Nets. I'm not interested. Last night, I had to watch that football game. That was the game to watch. And so, and it was fun. That was a hell of a game. I still don't trust Sam Darnold, by the way. There is no way in hell do I trust Sam Darnold still. Okay, he's put up some good numbers, but I saw those interceptions, and I saw how lucky they got with the 2-point conversion, and also they had the special teams return that saved their ass too. So a couple things really saved Seattle's ass last night. I still think the Rams are the better team when it's all said and done, not Seattle. But whatever, I don't know how you look. Do you trust Sam Darnold, Sean? I understand you use him as a fantasy player, but in reality, do you trust him? No. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's I don't know. It just I didn't walk away. If I'm a Seattle fan, I still don't feel like I have the guy. Now, I will say this. If their running game, if their offensive line can block, if their D, they only need him to make some plays, because that defense is good, overall, and they've got players. It's it's sad that you sit there as a Dolphins fan and you go, wow, our team is light years away from these guys, like light years away. Just look at that division with San Francisco, and San Francisco's had a ton of injuries. For me, Shanahan is the coach of the year, actually, with all his injuries. I've been super impressed with what Kyle Shanahan has done this year. But that division is wicked, dude. Wicked. You got a 10, 11, and a 12-win team right now. Well, obviously, with San Fran, they haven't played this week. But they'll get their chance for their 11th win. So, man, that is a bitch of a division right there. That is and you see Miami, excuse me, and the one thing that they don't have better ownership than they have in San Francisco. Miami doesn't have better ownership than they have in Seattle, and Miami doesn't have better ownership than they have in the Rams. Because the Rams have flipped over their team, and they're back to contenders again after winning the championship. Seattle, they had their time with the Legion of Doom. They went into a valley, and now they're starting to climb out again. Whether they have the right quarterback or not, it's a whole different ball game. But if the team can elevate around him, then maybe they got a shot. But my point is that it all starts with ownership. The New England Patriots had a dynasty And in just 3 years, they flipped their team from their legendary coach to the what's it called? I don't know, fill in, what I call it? They went through the initial coach, and then they went through, God, what's the one that was groomed to replace him in Mayo, and then immediately went to Vrabel, and they found their quarterback. And then we sit here, decade in, decade out, like, okay, what's this owner going to do now? Is he ever going to find a GM? Is he ever going to find a head coach? Is he ever going to find a quarterback? Is he ever going to win? Does he know? We know he doesn't know because it's been 15 years. I mean, we've got to be really dumb and ignorant to look in the mirror and say, oh, no, yeah, Stephen Ross is going to figure it out. It's kind of rough to think of it that way, to be quite honest. It sucks. But that's what great ownership is all about, dude. Vinny Viola comes in. He inherits Dale Talon. He gives Dale a couple of years. He figures out he's not the guy. He moves on. He gets Bill Zito. And the rest is history, dude. It's great ownership knows exactly what they have to do, or they do whatever it takes in order to win. And the examples are everywhere. They just are. You can find it. I mean, Snyder leaves, and then the new ownership comes in Washington, and everything is starting to change for the Commanders. The Houston Texans, they went and found their young coach right away, and they've got a guy now that they can build on. That doesn't happen here. They don't find the head coach. They don't find the right general manager. They don't find the right quarterback. They don't find the right players. They don't find the right team. They can't create the right culture. It starts at the top, because that's the person that's going to demand a certain culture and a certain way of doing things. And clearly, Stephen Ross has failed in every way possible. And when you watch what goes on in town with the Panthers, with Inter Miami, that's new ownership both ways. One taking over an expansion team, and the other taking over a team that they bought, and they have immediately turned it around. I mean, that's your job. And to me, that's what I sat there while I was appreciating the game, appreciating two great teams playing, a killer division, all of that stuff that I could appreciate. The fact that what I can't get through my head is the Dolphins can never have the right ownership. It's crazy. It's crazy. No owner knows how to get it done. Even Robbie couldn't get it done on the back end. And this is like decade after decade after decade after decade. It's tough, man. To me, that's what I was thinking about when I was watching that situation. It's very, very frustrating. Anyway, Sean, do me a favor. Give me 30 seconds, sir. Por favor.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
By the way, we are there the second Wednesday of every month at Toyota of Hollywood. And so come on by and say hi. Always appreciate it when you guys come on by and say hi. It's always very nice. So thank you. We will be Saturday. You can get your tickets for the Fort Lauderdale United 7:30 game. Go to ftlutd.com. Call them 954-241-0618. That's where we're going to be tomorrow. And we'll go live tomorrow for 2 hours from 4:30 to 6:30. Live there from Davie as they get ready to take on the Zephyrs, the Spokane Zephyrs FC. And that'll be at 7:30. But we will be doing a Canes post-game show. Obviously, Manny Navarro will be joining us, which he'll be joining us any minute now. We'll be talking to Manny and getting a preview of that Texas A&M game. So we'll have a little fun with Manny talking about that. David Furones will join us after that. But tomorrow we'll be at Fort Lauderdale United. By the way, you can also check out their shop. You can go to FortLauderdaleUnitedFCShop.com. You can buy some gear there if you want to get yourself a hat or a jersey, a shirt, a banner, or anything that you want to get. You can also get it there. Fort Lauderdale United, of course, as always. And we thank our friends at All Year Cooling and Plumbing, proud sponsors of Fort Lauderdale United football. And you can reach out to our friends at All Year Cooling. Same-day service and installs, over 350,000 satisfied customers. 888-204-5554. That's 888-204-5554. They've been in business since 1973. That's 52 years for All Year Cooling. And they service Homestead all the way to Vero Beach. And they've also now got a new office in Naples. So our West Coast listeners, if you need any help, hopefully you don't, but if you need some help with your plumbing or AC, Florida's number one when it comes to AC and plumbing service is All Year Cooling. Extended warranties, financing available, same-day installations, free repair services, 7-day-a-week service. And I can tell you firsthand, because the AC that's pumping right now in my home, well, I got it from All Year Cooling back in 2010. Okay, so 15 years and still working strong. I'm telling you, man, just go to All Year Cooling. They will get it done and get it done right. Tommy and all the great people out there are exceptional. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little Canes. Let's preview a little Texas A&M and UM. Let's also get any of the recruiting angles with the one and only Manny Navarro and our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right, big dog, how you doing, man?
Doing good. About to jump on my flight, head out to Houston, getting ready to drive up to College Station, be ready for tomorrow's kickoff.
Going to be fun. Are you going to be nervous when the building is swaying? Like, is this shit like earthquake proof and shit? Like, what's going on here, bro? You know, so you're going to be a little nervous. I mean, the Orange Bowl used to sway a little bit.
Yeah, but this one sways like you're riding a horse, brother. I mean, I was there 3 years ago when Mario played his first road game out there, and it was shaking. It was shaking and baking, and that wasn't a playoff game. So this will be a little bit more amped up, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Are they ready, Manny? Is this team finally ready? Because, you know, one of the headlines on the show today is that Mario Cristobal faces real pressure. And I think this is like the you know, there's been other moments that we've wanted them to win and cross that threshold, but this is it, dude. This is it. You're in the playoffs now. This is your opportunity to make a real impact, right? So are they ready for this?
We're going to find out. I mean, I think that they are. I think they've played in a lot of big games already the last couple of years. I mean, the crux of this team When you think of the Ruben Baines and the Francis Maui-Noahs, and they've won 20 games the last 2 years, and they've won some games on the road, right? And so to me, they're ready for this moment, as ready as they're going to be. They have a veteran quarterback. They're not putting some first or second year guy out there. This is a dude who's played in SEC championship games, big road games on the road in Alabama. So to me, I think they're ready for this environment as they can be. This is as well prepared a team, I think, as Miami's put out on the field in a long, long time.
Marcel Reed, obviously a two-way type quarterback. He is one of the, I think, their second leading rusher also, besides obviously being the quarterback. His touchdown to interception ratio isn't necessarily super impressive, so he'll turn over the ball a little bit. What do you see from that offense, the receivers, Marcel Reed, the running backs too, because they've got several running backs too?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the best team Miami's playing. I mean, certainly the best offense that they're facing all season. Casey Concepcion, Mario Craver, those are two legitimate receivers. Miami's never had to line up and cover two legitimate guys, right? When they faced Louisville, it was Chris Bell, who they had to stop. When it was Florida State, it was Deuce Robinson. This is a team that legitimately has multiple weapons. So this is going to be a real challenge for Corey Heatherman, who I think has done an outstanding job to this point, but he needs to have his team ready for anything. And when you have an elusive quarterback like Marcel Reed, who does get into mistakes, the best game plan, it feels like, honestly, is sitting back in zone coverage and waiting for him to make those mistakes instead of going after him and forcing him on the run. Because when he does that, that's when he really causes trouble. And so I think for Miami, it's going to be a very interesting chess match between their defensive coordinator and Texas A&M's offensive coordinator. And Miami has the horses to get the job done, brother. They're getting healthier. I mean, they're getting guys back on this defense that are going to contribute. So to me, it starts with stopping the run and forcing Marcel Reed to throw the ball into zone coverage.
On the flip side, what do you see from their defense? The Cassius Howell kid has got 11.5 sacks. So talk to me about what the O-line must do to kind of – I mean, they've done a great job of giving their quarterback plenty of time. He's got one of the best ratios when it comes to the time back there. So I think that's good. But will that be an issue this week?
Yeah, I mean, certainly this is the best third down defense in the country. Texas A&M does a phenomenal job when they get you in third and long of getting after the quarterback and creating pressure. And look, Carson Beck, as good as he has been most of this season, falls into situations where he forces the ball and tries to get rid of it quickly. And we've seen it. He had some really ugly interceptions against Louisville. At the end of the SMU game, forced the ball down the middle of the field because nobody was open. Miami needs to do a good job giving him as much time as possible. And I think obviously you're going to have to probably double a guy like Cassius Howell. He'll be lined up with Markel Bell on the left side. It's going to be up to Miami to do a good job just making Carson feel comfortable. And really, I think the best way they do that, is running the football, right? They've got to have success so that Texas A&M just can't tee off and come after him on third and long all game. If that's the case, they're going to get blown out. I think first and second down are super important. Carson Beck throws a lot of underneath stuff. I think the tight ends, the running backs, slot receiver, Malachi Tony's going to get a ton of attention. You got to find other guys that can get yards on first and second down. So to me, that's what this game comes down to from an offensive perspective for Miami, because A&M has a very good secondary. The one thing that they have struggled with at times is giving up big run plays, and Miami's got some backs that can pop some big runs.
Okay. So before I get to the running part, on the Malachi Tony side, their DBs are very active. They're some of the top tacklers on their team. I've only seen maybe a game and a half of Texas A&M this year, so I haven't seen a lot. So I don't really know, but they're obviously going to focus on Malachi because he's a beast. So what do you see from that secondary? Do they have any of the guys that can slow down one of the best players in the country? Because I kind of have a hard time seeing anybody stopping Malachi Tony.
They do. They've got a lot of guys in the secondary that play a lot of football. Will Lee, Des Ricks, Tyreek Chappelle, all of those guys at corner are, 21 career starts or more. All of them started 12 games this season. So their secondary is very solid. That's why, to me, Miami's going to need other guys to emerge. As much as Malachi Tony has been a phenomenal weapon for them, that Mike Elko is going to do everything in his power to take him out of the game. So Shannon Dawson's going to have to be creative in getting the ball into Malachi's hands. He's done it so far. We've seen a lot of screens. We've seen, end arounds. We've seen him throw the football, obviously, line up in the Wildcat. He needs to be effective, but I think more than anything else, Miami needs, CJ Daniels. They need a couple of other guys to really step up and make some big catches, because I'm willing to bet Malachi is going to see a lot of double coverage.
Oh, I would imagine so, dude. I mean, that is automatic there. When we look at the Mario Cristobal question and that offense, you've pointed it out on this segment a couple of times that since the last loss, they have Mario's kind of gotten out of the way a little bit of the offensive coordinator, and they've opened it up more. And we watched even Malachi throw some touchdowns and everything. By the way, he can throw a nice ball too. By the way, it's impressive. No, but they've done all kinds of things to kind of open it up. I hope this is not a moment you get tight. I hope this is a moment where you stay aggressive against this team.
I think Mario realized after that SMU loss that if he's going to win and really have a chance, he can't just go into a shell the moment your quarterback makes a mistake, right? You have to continue to be aggressive. Look, he won 2 championships here as a player. He was part of teams that threw the ball down the field, right, with Gino Torretta and Thrill Hill and all the guys that they had. So I think for Mario, as a coach, he has a certain mentality that the moment, his team starts to struggle, it's like, all right, we're gonna play really conservative and try to just grind it out and run the ball. Can't be that way against this team. When you get to play, in the college football playoff, you can't be that way when you're lining up against an SEC team. You got to go out and let it all hang out. And I think, hopefully for Miami's sake, Mario has learned something from that. He talked about it recently, when he was on Kirk Herbstreit's podcast with Joey Galloway, and he said, it's something that he had to sort of relearn this year. I think seeing his team struggle, seeing what happened at SMU. So hopefully that side of Mario is gone, and the team that shows up tomorrow is free, loose, and ready to play football.
Yeah, let's hope so. What on the recruiting side, what's the angle here this week? What has gone on in Mario's world, because he's always recruiting?
Well, look, right now, obviously, the transfer portal is the hot topic, right? All these quarterbacks are popping into the portal. And so, Miami is obviously reaching out, trying to figure out what they're going to do for 2026, who's the right fit for this offense and what Shannon Dawson wants to do. We're in a really weird time in college football.
Arizona State kid going to sign? That's what I want to know. When's the Arizona kid going to sign?
Yeah, I want to know too. I'm going to say this. I think the calendar is so screwed up right now. I mean, we still have jobs open, right? The Michigan job is open potentially. That's going to open up other jobs depending on who takes that one. And so Shannon Dawson is your offensive coordinator for right now, but he's interviewed for a bunch of jobs. So that affects ultimately what you do with the quarterback position, right? And that affects the quarterback themselves. So while all these guys are popping into the portal and teams are trying to get their quarterback signed, Miami's like in this weird position because it looks like Shannon Dawson's going to be here next year, but it also you don't know because of the carousel and the way things are going to change. So I think Sorsby and Levitt are the 2 guys at the top of Miami's list. I think Lagway's probably 3rd. After that, we'll see. Josh Hoover just jumped into the portal yesterday. Everybody's saying he's probably headed to Indiana. So look, there's a lot of teams looking for quarterbacks. I know Miami spends a boatload of money, and guys know that the last 2 dudes that have come here have had success. So I think Miami's going to get themselves a good one. It's just a matter of who and when.
Well, it's like we talked about last week. Just make sure you bring back Malachi Toney, bro. That's all you got to do. Bring back Malachi Toney, and every quarterback's going to say, oh, wait a minute. I get to play with him for 2 more years? Yeah, I'm here. I'm going. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about, right?
Yeah, and look, a lot of the guys that they have in this program right now are fully invested. They made the playoff. There's proof of concept now, right? We made the postseason. So it's not like they're going to some crappy bowl game and dudes are like, well, let me see if I can go to, Ohio State or Georgia. I think Miami's reached sort of a different point just by making the playoffs. So I think that they're in a good standing with a lot of their own players. Guys want to come back. They want to re-up. They know that they're going to get paid well. They know that they're going to be in a situation where they can contend, even with some of the dudes who are leaving for the NFL. And he's recruited well enough that there's dudes in waiting that are going to be good players. So this is to me right now, Miami is a legitimate top 10 program in college football. Can they win a championship? That's an entirely different question. But they are a top 10 program from an NIL, money, and sort of just building perspective. There is something that will transition year to year to year. I don't see a fall off. This is not Florida State. This is not some other program that just has to get lucky in the portal. I think that Miami's in position to have sustained success, and so that's going to help them attract guys.
Okay, but I got to ask the question. Do you have to win on Saturday? Because does a loss kind of change anything in that forecast? Does a loss maybe put you at a risk of losing some players because then they maybe don't believe what's going on? I'm just wondering because
I mean everything is can change on a dime.
Yeah, you got to win this game, dude, for your program. I mean, it's not just because you want to win the national championship and advance to the next round and all of that. It's that this is the stinking threshold that you cannot cross for decades now. So, you need to bust through this one, man. You really do.
Yeah, I think most importantly, you can't get embarrassed. You don't want to get to this point and get absolutely crushed tomorrow. I think that's the real thing. If they go out there and they lose a 3-point game on the road, with 110,000 people at a stadium to an SEC team that was 11-1, I don't think anybody's going to look at them and say, yeah, that's not good enough, or they're a huge disappointment. Obviously, there will be disappointment, but I think it's different if they go out there and they play a good game against Texas A&M. If they get absolutely crushed, then everybody's going to turn around and say, well, he still hasn't won the ACC. They snuck in the back door. He can't show up. So again, they're on that razor's edge. I think of where they're at. But I do think there was a progress made by making the postseason. We said that in the preseason, win the ACC or make the playoff. They made the playoff, didn't win the ACC yet. And like I said, he's got a good base to keep this thing sustained. Could guys decide to jump off the bandwagon because they lost? Maybe, but I think it's probably only if they get blown out.
All right, what's the prediction, Doggy?
I got Miami winning. I think they're going to figure it out and win on the road. I think Carson Beck is ready for this moment. Marcel Reed has done a phenomenal job to this point, getting them to 11-1. I really like Marcel Reed a lot. But young guys make mistakes in the playoffs, and they get nervous. And I just think Carson Beck is going to be the better quarterback tomorrow. I think that'll be the difference.
All right, let's hope so. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and better yet, catch his work there at The Athletic. Safe travels, my brother. I appreciate you. We will talk tomorrow afternoon as the post-game show, and hopefully it'll be a happy.
Yep. Let's see.
You got it. Be good.
Take care.
There you go. The great Manny Navarro. And by the way, the Big Cheese, proud sponsor of this segment. Gary and all the great people out there. This started with Gary and Billy 40 years ago. Billy, rest in peace. We love you, brother. And Gary continues the tradition. And I'm telling you, when you go there, it's a great place. Saturday, man, you're watching the Texas A&M game. Order some party platters from the Big Cheese. You don't have to cook. They can make any dish a party platter. Get on down there. By the way, they also have now a patio section that you can rent out. 20, 30, up to 40 people. So if you got a get together, an employee get together, a birthday or something like that, you can do it at the Big Cheese. They'll cater the whole thing. They'll take care of you. You'll love it, dude. So call them 305-662-6855. The garlic rolls are to die for. You get family servings, so you will never walk away hungry. And the walls are filled with 40 years of Hurricanes memories, man, which will blow you away. Autographs and pictures and all kinds of stuff from the last 40 years. And just great memories. It's like a Hall of Fame in there. It's a beautiful thing. BigCheeseMiami.com.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody-S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody-S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Oh, I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Sorry, but last night, we love our Slowmans and we love ShieldLink, which, of course, you can get it in 49 of 50 states. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell them that Big O sent you from one single app. You can control the lights, the climate, the door locks, the music, the blinds, the TVs. It's really fun. It's really cool. But last night, there was a Slowman's key decision of the game.
What was the deciding moment? Who made the right move? Where did the game change? It's the Slowman's key decision of the game. Make the smart decision to protect your home and family by calling Slowman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME, serving Americans for nearly 100 years. Here's our Slowman's key decision of the game.
You know, you're on, you're off. The energy's right, the energy's wrong. I don't know what goes on, but you know, Khalil Ware was put into the starting lineup last night with Bam Adebayo, and he played 30 minutes to Bam's 31. He scored 22 to Bam's 8. He went 8 of 11 from the field to Bam's 4 of 13. He went 1 of 2 from three-point range to Bam's 0 of 2. He had 12 rebounds to Bam's 17. They each had an assist. Bam had 3 turnovers. He had none. He had 4 blocks. Bam had 3. Kind of worked. The question is, can it continue? But it was a key decision. It was good. And I think a lot of us want to see this and see if this works, right? And a lot of us want to see Khalil Ware play more. But again, I have no problem. I trust Spo wholeheartedly. If you're not doing things right, that's how it's been in this organization for 30 years, dude. If you're a player and you're not committed to what you're supposed to do, you're not going to be rewarded with minutes and playing time. You know what I mean? You're just not going to be able to, you know, what Butler did. that stuff was never really ever tolerated in this place. So you're not going to be able to loaf off and, have a good game and then not give effort. No, dude, you're going to have to be focused and work hard every day, every moment. That's how that organization is. Whether you work in the ticket office, whether you're cleaning the arena, whether you're out there programming the lights, I don't give a shit. I've been around that organization a lot. It's one of the organizations that I respect the most because from top to bottom, their employees, their people are exceptional, dude. Exceptional. Okay? And that's why it's got a great family-like atmosphere. And people work there forever. It's a great vibe. The heat is a great. If I ever wanted to work for one organization, I really don't because I never really like working for teams. But if I ever wanted to, that would probably be the organization that I would like to work for. You know what I mean? Because it's actually a really good organization. And I think it rewards you if you're a good employee and you move up and all that kind of stuff. It's just a great vibe. It's a really good organization. And so I understand when the on and off part of Ware or other players, because I've watched it with Riley and I've watched it with Spo. So the kid got an opportunity yesterday and shines. And I hope we get to see more of it because, we've seen some of this. It's come on and off. We've had opportunities and moments, but I'd like to see this kind of stick, but it's up to Khalil Ware. Okay. I'm not here to start questioning Spo and his, coaching ways. He knows what he's doing. I also know he doesn't have great talent and has not had real winning talent in years, and yet he's maximized it. You know what I'm saying? So last night, a key decision was putting Ware in that starting lineup. Will it continue? Was it a matchup thing? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if it'll continue, but I do know this. I like the combination. Okay? I really do. And I think Ware actually may have a little more offensive dog in him than Bam Adebayo. Bam is more passive, where I think Ware would be a guy that would welcome the challenge of welcome the burden of being counted on, which is what the Sloman's Home Shield is. They carry the burden of protecting you. They've been protecting Americans for 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Go check out Shield Link. It's in 49 of 50 states, so it doesn't matter pretty much where you're watching. You can call, and you can check it out and tell them that Big O sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Khalil Ware, our key decision of the game.
Our key decision of the game is brought to you by Sloman's Home Shield. When you want to protect your home, family, or business, call Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME.
I hope tomorrow we got a key decision in the UM game. And then I hope on Sunday, I hope Quinn Ewers becomes a key decision of the game and he goes out there and has a good game against Cincinnati. By the way, some of you Dolphins that are rooting against the Dolphins, which get really weird, are you going to be sitting there on Sunday like hoping that Quinn Ewers sucks and he throws 80 interceptions and they lose or something? Is that how the whole thing works? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works. I can't think of it that way. You know what I mean? I get it. But it is. By the way, the depressing news for those of you out there that think like that, the Dolphins have the 11th pick in the draft. I know you want number one. KC is 12. Minnie is 13. Dallas is 14. That's crazy. Teams probably with better rosters are behind the Dolphins right there. They're right there. Teams that probably should have been in the playoffs, but, for whatever reason, many obviously their quarterback situation, which is really odd, bro. Really odd. I wonder if they go back to Kirk Cousins next year. Because that's where Kirk's going to go somewhere next year for a year or two where they are close, where they have a decent team. And he's going to get some business, too. By the way, please smash the hell out of the like button. It's very important you smash it. We got 41, got already 122 watching there. Let's go, let's go, let's go. por favor, hit that like button. That gets the algorithms going. And remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Bitcoin is at 88,000. And remember, today there's $3.1 billion of Bitcoin and ETH shorts or liquidations. So not shorts, options, I'm sorry, liquidating today. So we could get some volatility. So we'll see. And if we do, it could be an opportunity, but you never know. It could be volatility upwards. I'm hoping for a little volatility. I'm like one of the few people that just doesn't care. I'm like, oh, there's a dip, even better for me. You know, some people are like, hey, there's a dip. Oh, are you worried? No, dude, I'm buying. It's sort of there's no worries here. I'm just going to keep collecting. I know where we're going eventually, so you know it's all good in the hood. So you know, but it's funny how some people look at it one way and some other people like, oh my God, who's selling? You see reactions on social media, and I'm like, great. I'm glad you're short-sighted and you're selling. You're opening it up for the rest of us. The Dow, by the way, is up 288 points. The S&P is up 52. And the NASDAQ is up barely 0.25 point. That's about it. All right. Dolphins, by the way, are dogs on the road. I mean, at home. The Bengals are favored by 3.5 in Quinn Ewers' outing. Over and unders 47.5. Bengals are minus 210 on the money line, and the Dolphins are plus 175 on the money line. I am not touching this game. I am not touching this game at all. Don't want anything to do with this game at all. Oh, by the way, I know he had 200 yards yesterday and 2 touchdowns. Puka Nacua. Boy, this guy is like a first-class dumbass. He went on the Aiden Ross show. First of all, I don't know. You should be banned from the NFL for life just for going on the Aiden Ross show because you're that stupid going on that racist pig show. And then he was like duped into, he was doing some kind of a dance that was also an anti-Semitic thing at the same time. And either he knew or he didn't know, or did he know who Aiden Ross is? And then, you know, it's like, and the questions that they asked him after the game yesterday, they didn't really go after him the way they should have. You know, like, do you know who this guy is? Do you know all the crap that he's been involved in? Why would you even go on a show like this? And then, are you that stupid that you didn't know who that guy is, how racist he is, and you didn't know that your so-called dance was an anti-Semitic dance? And then after last night's game, he criticized the referees on it. He immediately deleted it. But as you all know, does it really get deleted? Do you really end up not? No, do people really not end up seeing it? No. Somebody will take a screenshot. Somebody will bust you. And it wasn't like he said anything like real derogatory, but it was a shot at the referees. And he says, can you say I was wrong? Appreciate you, Stripes, for your contribution, LOL. And then he erased it. And then McVay was asked about it. He was hemming and hawing about it. But like, I get it, he's a great football player. But wow, this is like either he's a hateful and stupid individual or he's a really stupid individual. I mean, you know, you could be football smart, but you could be a catastrophic dumbass. So what is Puka Nacua? A hateful piece of crap? An enormous stupid human being? A guy loaded with so much ignorance that it's beyond belief? I don't know. Just wondering. Just want to throw it out there. You know what I mean? And the reporters did not ask him anything about his relationship with Aiden Ross and if he knew who that guy was. It's crazy. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right, my brother. How you feeling? Feeling good?
I'm feeling good. You know, always something in Dolphins land, and I'm ready for these guys right here tomorrow. So, yeah, looking forward to that. And then I'll go back and cover the Dolphins, but with some excitement with a change at quarterback. So, you know, something to look forward to at least instead of the same old.
Why is Tua checked out? What is it about him? Because he shows no remorse with his play. It's kind of company lines all year long when you ask him about interceptions or, I got to play better. Then, you know, and throughout all the little messaging that he's told us about, whether it's alignments or guys not showing up to meetings or getting plays in on time or whatever it is that he's mentioned, you know, can't see this or that, whatever it is. And I'm just wondering, do you see a tuned out person like I do? Because I don't see a quarterback that is all in and a quarterback that, quite frankly, should be incredibly pissed at himself for how poorly he's played.
Yeah, it's so interesting. There were a few images at yesterday's practice, so it would have been the first one that media can watch. It's a short viewing period, but like our photographer Joe Cavaretta had this shot of Tua watching. I mean, the look on his face said it all. Granted, this is one moment, but it kind of, although he's saying the right things as far as like, yeah, I'm going to go help Quinn, and that's my job now is to do that. You kind of sense like that's him just saying the right thing, but then you see that image.
Yeah.
Right. You see that image of him as Quinn Ewers is taking the practice rep. He seems, like you said, just tuned out of it. There was another moment where, now we couldn't shoot this part of practice, but it's the whole offense lining up in kind of like a walk-through like setting. They show the first team offensive line with a group of eligibles and the quarterback. And then Tua is over, so they do it like backed up, and Tua's over like at midfield, kind of watching, and his body language shows like a disinterest. You don't want to read too much into it because, you know, maybe I'm sure if you ask him, he would say, well, that's just a vantage point that I wanted to see. I wanted to see the whole offense from far away and see what the operation was so I can him out. I'm sure that would be the answer. But the body language kind of indicated something. And maybe that's just our natural inclination reading into a situation. Of course, there's all these like psychological aspects that could come about. But I mean, I think it's warranted what you're saying. Like, he does seem a little bit checked out now. And I think it's probably telling toward the future. I know I was on the post game saying, okay, well, yeah, I wouldn't see it because the salary cap implications for Tua going into next year. How do you take on a $99 million dead cap hit when he has the 54 guaranteed? And then now I feel the other way. Once I've actually seen it happen, it's just, boy, this really looks like it's
not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So just take the cap hit anyways. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. You're not going to be a player in free agency. You're only going to be playing. You're only going to be using all your draft picks. That's what you're going to be doing, or trading some other players to add more draft picks, so you can then get a whole bunch of cheap players for the next few years. Because so who cares, dude? Like some guy told me on Twitter yesterday or on the chat board. Oh wow, he's setting our team back. Setting what back, bro? You're not going anywhere. You aren't going anywhere for the next couple of years. This is all a reset. You're going to take cap hits. the same way you did with Tannehill and Ndamukong Suh. When you let them go, you took cap hits, and there were certain parts of your cap that you could not use. So what? It's part of the rebuilding of the last 20-something, 30 years. Who cares? You know? It's not a big, you know.
And then there's the debate about post June 1. Do you do it post June 1 to split up some of the cap hit? Well, I don't know. I would just take, because then I want to be in a better position for 2027. So I want to take it all in one fell swoop in 26. Exactly what you're saying. Who cares?
No,
how much you have for 26?
Papa, they won't, because you got to re-sign Achan, and so you got to sign your draft class. You're going to have to field something that's half decent. If you take the entire hit at once, you're going to be so bad that it just, you know.
But you might as well be.
I get it, but
yeah,
that's not who they are. That's not what they've done. They're
we also don't know who's going to make the decision. So it's you know. So right now it's just a guessing game on what each one of us would do, but we don't know who's going to be the GM that you know would make this call. But even extending Achan, that would be something that the money comes up down the road. So it's not like you wouldn't have to worry about it so much for 2026 when he's already still signed on the 4th year of his rookie deal. It's when the extension starts to kick in afterward. Yeah, right. that you need the money. The same way with Tua's extension, how it has picked up now. Same dynamic.
Right. That is true. But you are going to have to sign some people, and you're going to have to sign some free agents just to get by or whatever. You're going to need some money. I don't see them taking the whole hit.
Cheap tweeted
out yesterday. It takes 33% of the cap instead of 31 for Russell Wilson. Big deal, bro. Just move on.
Right.
Just take the damn hit and just move on. Now, this is the other thing.
And that's if you do it all at once. That's if you do it all at once. That's when it's 33%. So.
Right. So you could do it that way and just take the hit and move on if you want. But if not, break it up and ease your way through the thing if you want. Whatever. To me, it doesn't matter. Either way, it doesn't matter. This team is going nowhere for a couple of years. They're in a reset mode and a rebuild mode. There are no playoffs next year or even the year after that. You're probably 3 years from now. That's if you build the right way and you draft the right people and you have the right people in place. Then maybe we could start talking about something positive 3 years from now. But outside of that, I don't know. That's going to – and by the way, you don't even know if you have a quarterback. You don't even know if you have the head coach. It's just it's all crazy. Now, back to Tua, because the Tua that's tuned out, okay, part of it is – like I've been talking about it, and so has Kurt Warner been talking about it, okay? Nobody is beneficial with Mike McDaniel. No player is better off with Mike McDaniel, okay? Players that succeed with Mike McDaniel, they're succeeding in spite of Mike McDaniel, okay? Just like all the success that I see Tua has had, whatever success he's had with Flo or with McDaniel, for me, it's in spite of what they do. Because they're not really complementary coaches. They don't really help. And if you watch Kurt Warner's videos, he talks about it all the time, how that passing tree does not make any sense from one read to another, and he should know about this. But whatever. It is what it is. So for me, I think Tua's tuned out for 2 reasons. It's either or. So I'm going to run it by you. One is, I can't tell you, because neither one he can admit. I can't tell you all that I'm hurt. My hip injury that I suffered last year, I'm not the same player, whatever, but I'm going to play and I'm going to do whatever I can, and I'm going to make you fire me, just like every head coach in college football or in the NFL. They'll continue to coach even though they suck until you fire them, because that way you have to pay them. You know, some people have told me, oh, why doesn't he retire if he can't play? Because he's not going to leave any money on the table. He's not going to give them an out. So he's going to walk away with all his money. Okay? That's one. The other one is he's tired of all this shit. He's tired of playing with a coach that hated him at first, with this incompetent fool that doesn't care about the offensive line, doesn't really protect, doesn't care about guards. You know what I mean? And so all he's ever played is under pressure. Doesn't care about the running game until the last month of his career. Didn't care about a tight end till last year in the second month of the season that he started to put in Jonnu Smith. There's a ton of things that Tua can look around and go, bro, I'm tired of this incompetent and this entire organization. You know what, bro? I'm just going to play this out, play it whatever shitty way and me and my agent, and we'll get the hell out of here. And on June 1st, you'll release me, and I'll get my money, and I'll be able to go work out and go, I could go back to Nick Hicks, which I couldn't with you guys, and I'll go work on my body, and I could go wherever the hell I want and get the hell out of this hellhole. So for me, it's one of those two. Can Tua tell you about any of those? He can't admit that. There's no way he can admit that. But I would put a lot of money that it's one of those two. It's either I'm playing this thing out and I'm leaving with the money, or I got to get the hell out of here. And this is the best way for me to get out of here. Because if I actually play well, they might keep me for next year. I don't want to stay here. I want to get out of here. So for me, I'm seeing a guy that's tuned out for one of those things. So have at it.
Can it be all of the above? Because you're probably on with both of those.
No, you can't retire and then want to restart.
Oh, no, not retire. But you said he's not retiring.
It's one of the two. Either I play this out so I can leave with all my money, or I play this out so I can get released and move on with my life away from these people and go to another team. And I can pick and choose what team I want to go to if anybody's interested. I could go work my body out and then show everybody that I'm back and all that kind of stuff. What I call it the Belinda Carlisle thing. When the Go-Go's broke up and Belinda Carlisle left on her own, you go look at her and she like remade herself and she looked dynamite and she came out with a bunch of hits and all like divorcees do. So that's what I'm wondering. Is Tua looking to be a divorcee, or is he looking to, let me just play this out, take my money and go home? That's all.
I don't know that reference that you made, but I would have said like Ice Cube leaving NWA, and then Ice Cube had his solo career take off, and he was dissing NWA and going at them. So
I found the analogy of a beautiful woman, but you go ahead and sorry, it's okay.
Oh, as far
I get.
So it's like I'm going by the performance aspect. Like
I'm going by you look like shit right now. You're a broken old man running around. Like, okay, now you go back and fix yourself up and look again. That's not what Ice Cube really did. He went and produced the music on his own, but Belinda Carlisle redid herself and she looked dynamite and also had the hits. That's what I'm saying. So he has to do a little Belinda Carlisle because he has to redo his body, right? He has to kind of look like he looked with Nick Hicks a few years ago.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying he has to do a little Belinda Carlisle. So I'm sorry for the old reference.
No, I'm learning. I'm learning here too,
Is there one now? Oh, Kelly Clarkson.
Okay.
There you go. Is that you got that one then, right? You seen Kelly Clarkson now?
All right. Wow. So what is the past? What is her past?
So you can't keep up with me in new pop culture,
on modern pop culture either. Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit, bro. You haven't seen Kelly Clarkson's like how she redid her body? No?
I have missed out on this. Okay. I'll look into that. As far as it relates to Tua.
Really good. So that's what I'm saying. So he's gonna have to do a little Kelly Clarkson.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean certainly.
Trying to update it for you, but I can't apparently. I can't even update it for you. Jesus. Trying to update. No, but seriously, do you think there's any truth to? I think it's one of those two roads that he's trying to exercise.
As far as his body is concerned, yeah. I mean, he can't admit it, and he was asked this question at his locker the day of the demotion, but he said just a hard no on whether his hip injuries have produced any of this downfall that we're seeing from him. But I don't believe him when he says that. I think it's clear when you watch that. I mean, you just watch a couple of years ago, and the way he scrambled, even as a younger quarterback. When you see him, his Alabama tape, he could move. And he's obviously he had that hip injury at the end of Alabama. He could still sling it, get his hips involved on the deep ball through 2023. I think as they add on those hip elements, I mean that bum hip just gets worse and worse each time. So, I mean, it could benefit him to then now if he's ends up somewhere else, he's a backup at first. Doesn't have to put his body through all the grueling everything that goes into a season. He's a backup quarterback instead. Then maybe that could help him just get right over a year. And I would never discount a comeback for him. I think we see too many of those stories. And as far as him wanting to get out of town, I wouldn't see it that way. I think he wants to prove it right. Wants to prove that he can make it happen. I don't think that's Tua's mindset ever. So I think he was legitimately disappointed that he lost the starting job here in Miami, and he wanted to roll with it. He wanted every opportunity to make it right, and then probably felt he was doing okay, even though his numbers said one thing, but he was winning 4 straight and 5 out of 6, and probably felt it was going a little bit better, and then suddenly it all comes crashing down flat when the team is eliminated, and suddenly now your coach is saying, best chance to win, not even saying we're shutting down Tua. It's that it's the belief suddenly is that the best chance to win is with Quinn Ewers, who was previously number 3 and number 1. It's a lot of mixed messaging here that really I think he just wanted to make it right and wanted to prove everyone right for believing in him all those other times, and then now has kind of lost all the belief, and it kind of hit him all at once.
All right, I'll let you go with this. What I've seen and what's been proven over time, I don't think this is a coach that compliments his quarterbacks. He hasn't complimented Tua at all, as I gave you examples in the past and everything else. Even with Huntley, he didn't run the right offense for Huntley till week 4 is when he started Huntley running more. He was using like Tua's offense. So we see a lot of stupid things like Orlovsky saying that Miami is a dangerous team. Look out. Now the moron has backed off from that. Mike Greenberg said, I would love to see Mike McDaniel with a different quarterback. Well, that's already happened, as the examples have been. So I'm just wondering, because, you saw Vegas feels the way I do. It went from a 1.5 to a 3.5 line now. The Bengals were only favored by 1.5. Now they're favored by 3.5. I'm rooting for Quinn. I hope he plays well, but I do fear that the poor kid has to start off with this guy, and I'm not sure he's going to get the plays in on time. I'm not sure he's going to compliment him. And I do you fear at all that Mike McDaniel will not do a good enough job of complimenting Quinn Ewers?
Well, here's the thing is that the Dolphins offense is perfect for Quinn Ewers because he ran a very similar system in Texas under Steve Sarkisian. So where in fact plays were actually the same. Like Texas used Dolphins plays that Mike McDaniel was running over there. So high familiarity level with the offense.
Hold on a second, but Sarkisian get the plays in on time. Are Sarkisian's players going to run the right routes? Are they going to line up at the right time? Are they not going to have pre-snap penalties? The stuff that maybe doesn't happen under Sarkisian happens under this coach. So I don't give a shit about the similarities. It's the mechanical issues. It's what you hear your quarterback say about communication and alignment and all that kind of crap. Just a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, you had 3 receivers out, and the play was ruined because they ran the wrong route. It wasn't on Tua. The play got destroyed, but it was because they ran the wrong route. It had nothing to do with Tua. And I think Tua has talked about that, that there is a discombobulation in this offense at times because of scatterbrain running it. So to me, that doesn't carry that much weight that they ran the same kind of system because it's 2 different human beings running that system.
Yeah, but what the Dolphins are doing now with this system is, and we saw it in the 4-game win streak, is there is an emphasis on the run. So I think a first start for Quinn Ewers, and especially going against the dead last run defense in the NFL of the Cincinnati Bengals, that will be the focal point of the game plan, is to feed Devon Achane, maybe work in some Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon as they see fit. And it's going to be lean on the run game, allow Quinn Ewers in his first start to just manage the situation and not have to, and then let it rip, when it presents themselves. But find the right balance where he doesn't have too much on his plate. The effective run game that we've seen, the extra lineman, Daniel Brunskill getting downhill, Julian Hill doing what he's been doing to open up lanes for Achane. I think a lot of what he's going to do is just turn around and hand it off to Devon Achane, or pitch it to Devon Achane and let him work his magic. Let the defense then, with and not having to be on the field too much, go to work against. Yes, this is Joe Burrow. This is Jamar Chase. This is T. Higgins, but this is a Bengals offense that was just shut out by the Baltimore Ravens. So they're on a little bit of a down stretch here as well. So I think you let your defense and run game handle things. Quinn Ewers, don't make mistakes. Take chances when they present themselves. And I think that would be a formula for the Dolphins to actually win Quinn Ewers' first start, despite it being against a Joe Burrow-led team.
All right, what happens? What's the prediction?
Yeah, I actually do have that. I believe the Dolphins will win this 27-24. I have. So I think Devon Achane gets loose a little bit. I think we see Burrow spark a little bit of a reconnection with Chase and Higgins. So the score gets up there a little bit, and the Dolphins ultimately come away pulling this one out.
All right, follow him on Twitter at @DavidFaronis_, and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. We will catch up on Sunday, my friend. Thank you.
Yes, sir. See you then.
You got it. All right, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Reach out to the bookend tackles that I have trusted, and many of our listeners now over the last 6 years have called Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. The consultation's free. So if you have an issue, you can explain it to them. They'll tell you if you have a case. These guys are so awesome that even if it's something that they don't really specialize in, they'll lead you to a lawyer that does, because they've been in the business forever. You know what I'm saying? So if you're dealing with bankruptcy, which unfortunately with the credit card issues and everything going on in America right now, it is a big problem. And don't be ashamed. That bankruptcy could happen to me tomorrow. Okay, it could happen to any of us. All right, a lot of us, we live week to week, month to month. I get it, man. So call them if you're dealing with those issues. Don't let those creditors run you down. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, business owner claims. Never call the insurance companies. Why? They're going to send their adjusters. Their adjusters work for them. You call Welton Rayom, they send their own adjusters. They assess all the damage, and then they call the insurance company on your behalf. Trust me, they'll get the insurance company's attention a lot faster with a lawyer than you will on your own. You and I, we don't know the laws and the loopholes. They'll get us, and they'll run circles around us. Never call the insurance companies. Call Welton Rayom. They will call the insurance companies for you. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Faronis. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Out there, don't forget you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. As always, appreciate your generosity. Tua as a long-term starter is gone. If he remakes himself, he needs to do as a high-end backup. He will have to have a total makeover and relearn how to throw, footwork, pocket presence. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It all depends on where he goes. If he goes somewhere that they actually can block and run and got a good offensive mind there, I think he will have a chance. Now, the real question is the hip. That's really what it's all about, and we'll find out as time goes on. If the hip injury is what it looks like now, his career's over. It's over. It's done. He has no chance at being a backup or anything whatsoever. If he's just kind of going through the motions saying, bro, I'm done with this place. I'm not going to get anywhere here. I got a way of getting out of here on June 1st. Let me get the hell out of here. And he just looks like a guy that's just going through the motions. So we'll see. We're going to find out. I'm telling you, it's one of those two things. But he can't admit either one, because if he admits he's broken, then they have a medical thing that they can challenge and try to get some money back. He's not going to do that. No, I'm fine. Going to play through it. And then, or the other one, he's not going to tell you, well, I got to coast and get the hell out of this place. And again, if you're honest with yourself, okay, plenty of players that want to win, why would they want to be here? You know what I'm saying? That part is not on Tua. That is on every player. People come here maybe to pick up a check, but they don't come here because, oh my God, this is a winning franchise and I'm going to win. Nobody wins here. So it could be either of those two things. All right. It could be as simple as I'm broken. I know I'm not going to be able to be the guy I was before. So let me just play this shit out and let me take my money and go home, because they're going to cut me and they're going to give me all my money. I'm not going to retire and leave money on the table. Nah, I'm not doing that. Coaches don't do that. Players aren't going to do that. Or I need to get the hell out of here. And I want to get out of here and I can, I'm almost in one piece. Let me try to save whatever I can. We'll find out. We'll find out. Either way, Miami is going nowhere for a long time. So that's really the bottom line. Doesn't matter. This is a reset for a while, and we're stuck here, unfortunately. We can't do anything about it. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Of course, you can always send in your questions, comments, and insults too. D Wolverine, thank you for the love on the super chat. Big O, honestly, what do you think this mentally does to someone when you're benched like that? The media is burying you, and it seems like everyone is forgetting the coach sucks, but you're the blame for it. Again, D Wolverine, nothing. If your agenda is to get out of here with the money on June 1st, you don't give a shit what's going on. And this is a guy that isn't on social media anyways or anything like that. He'll go home and he'll be just fine. And if you're a guy that just wants to get out of a terrible situation, which I'm sorry, Dolphin fans, our team is a terrible situation. It always is, always has been, always will be, I guess, under Stephen Ross. So it's not like this is a sexy place. This is a sexy place because it's no taxes, because it's Florida. But nobody comes here because they look at the Dolphins like there's some kind of quality, So if it's any of the two things I'm talking about, which I'm convinced it's one of those two, he doesn't give a shit what's being said about him. He doesn't give a shit what's being written about him. He doesn't give a shit about any of that. He's got an agenda. Either he gets out with his money or he gets out with his money and moves on to another place. That's it. That's it. Big O is convinced we can win with a quarterback that cannot throw the ball beyond 15 yards at any velocity. No, not with this guy. You can't. I never said that you can win with this guy. You could definitely win with the guy from 2 and 3 years ago. Easily win with that guy. But again, remember, my brother, here's the problem with people like you, St. Michael. They didn't win with Marino. What'd they win with Marino? Anything? Any titles? I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Didn't win anything. They got to one Super Bowl. They won one AFC title, and that's because, the conference was weak. That's it. Super weak conference. The AFC was in a stretch for many years, and the NFC was dominating. So this is a team that had Dan Marino, and they were too stupid, and they had no idea how to build around Dan Marino. So do you think it's a little harder to build around Tua than Dan Marino? So if they weren't smart enough to build around Dan Marino, do you think they're going to be smart enough to build around Tua? In fact, this is such a shit organization, okay, that the Tennessee Titans actually did a better job around Tannehill than the Dolphins. So I'm not sure if, in fact, what it seems like is that they get worse and worse and worse at building around quarterbacks. So, St. Michael, before you go burying Tua, and you could go ahead and do that, my brother, knock yourself out. All of you out there, pump your chest. Oh, Tua sucks and all that. Your franchise sucks a lot more than Tua. A lot more than Tua, dude. A ton more than Tua. Because think about it. Before Tua, I'm sorry. Hey, Sean, what was the last quarterback that was in the MVP race for the Dolphins? Okay. What was the last quarterback that led the league in yards? What was the last quarterback that led the league in completion percentage? And this is with no help. This is with no running game, no offensive line, and no offensive coach on the sidelines. So, St. Michael, okay? You can look in your holiest of visions out there. Your problem is the Miami Dolphins, okay? Not Tua Tagovailoa. It's your Miami Dolphins. Your Miami Dolphins are a joke. They're a pathetic franchise, okay? We root for a bunch of losers. We root for a big-eared old fart that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Understand that. We root for an organization that trades up for Deion Jordan. Okay? That's the organization that we root for. The organization that thinks that Cleo Lemon is a worthy starter, or that John Beck should be drafted, or that we should trade Robin Senline for Anthony Carter. Okay? This is the organization that extends Joe Philbin and Mike McDaniel. So focus all on Tua, bro, because of course, everything is Tua's fault. Okay? Just everything is Tua's fault. Be that short-sighted. Go ahead. Think about that. Of course, all these players, because we see players leave here and have more success in other places. I think Matt Collins has had a better career after he left the Dolphins. Would you say that? Because I would say that. I think Larry Izzo had a better career after he left the Dolphins. I mean, you want to continue? We could just start talking about players that leave here. I think Ryan Tannehill had a better career after he left the Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill had a better career after he left the Dolphins. That shit quarterback had a better career after he left the Miami Dolphins. See, this is where I get to a conversation and I get deep inside your soul. And those of you, you little weak fans out there, you little emotional cripples, you start looking at, oh my God, Big O is evil. He's ripping my team. He's telling me the truth. I can't listen to this. I got to go. I'm too emotional. Yeah, all those season ticket, all that money that you spend and all that tailgating money and all that red zone money and all the NFL ticket money and YouTube and shirts and hats and everything that we spend, it's for a shit organization that gives us zero hope. But we'll be watching this week, and we'll be watching next week and the week after, and we'll be watching the draft, and I won't be going to training camp anymore. I'm done with that for many years to come, because until they're actually like a perennial playoff team, I won't, which means I don't think I will ever go back to Dolphins training camp ever again. To be quite honest. I mean, dude, I'm approaching 60, so it's like, how much time do I have really left? Yeah, I'm certainly not going to waste it like I have in 30 plus years, 35 years of going out there and sweating my ass off and watching these idiots that do absolutely nothing and accomplish nothing. Okay? No matter who it is, no matter if it's Dan Marino or Tua Tagovailoa, they don't accomplish jack shit. So before you point the fingers at any single player, point it all at Stephen Ross, Wayne Huizenga, and the back end of Joe Robbie. Okay? Because all three of those owners sucked. All right? They sucked. How will you remember this era, Big O, as part of what's gone on for 30 years? Pure failure. That's all. Jimmy Johnson, you're a joke. You're a failure. Dave Wanstead, you're a joke. That's it. Everything that's gone on, everything is a joke. That's all. Back end of Robbie, Huizenga, Ross, a joke. Every general manager, a joke. Everything's become a joke. That's what it is for 30 years. Where are the results? So, but go ahead. Pick on the one guy, because that'll make you feel better, because you are unwilling to look at the real problem, which is the entire organization. True Fin fan, thank you, sir, for the super chat. I appreciate you immensely, my friend. Javier says, I just don't trust the Dolphins anymore. They don't have the stones to pull the trigger for the QB everybody wants, i.e. missed on Allen. Who wanted to trade for Josh Allen? Nobody was trading for Josh Allen, bro. Who? You want Lamar Jackson? You could have drafted Lamar Jackson or traded for him. Everybody passed up on him. Nobody was trading up for Josh Allen, bro. That was a ballsy move by the Bills. All of you are a bunch of phonies, and you're full of shit, okay? Nobody wanted Josh Allen. Josh Allen was terrible at Wyoming. I saw him at the Senior Bowl, and he couldn't hit the ocean. All right? The Bills took a chance, and it worked out fabulously. Now, on the Ravens side, they have committed themselves to a bullshit offense that only works in the regular season. Lamar Jackson hasn't won jack shit. I understand the Josh Allen argument. That one turned out really well. He has turned himself into a good quarterback. He's a much better passer than Lamar Jackson ever will be. Okay? It's not even close. Plus, he's bigger and stronger than Lamar Jackson, so he can handle more, whereas Lamar Jackson, as you can see, is breaking down already. Because, again, like I've told you before, if you need to run to be a quarterback, then you're not a quarterback. If you can't make a living from the pocket, then you're not a quarterback. You're still an athlete playing that position. So you want to give me the Josh Allen? I'll tell you, nobody wanted to trade for Josh Allen. The Bills did it. Their ballsy move, but nobody was really trading for Josh Allen. Okay? Nobody wanted Josh Allen. Nobody here locally was craving for Josh Allen. Nobody. During the draft, not a damn person was talking. They weren't talking about Josh Allen after the first or second year of him playing, because he was pretty bad. But to his credit, he has turned the corner. But please, the hindsight stuff is just ridiculous. Josh Allen was terrible coming out of Wyoming. Nobody knew that he was going to turn into this. This was a luck move by the Bills overall. But the Lamar Jackson one, please, dude. Please. The guy, all he does is pee in his pants every time he gets to the playoffs. And he's got a hell of a coach and a hell of an organization, and they've done everything to help him out. And he's just not a good enough passer. Never has been, never will be. Whereas Josh Allen, that's the one guy that has proven me wrong, that the erratic can be fixed a little bit, and he has fixed it. Whereas Lamar Jackson, it is what it is with that little simple passing tree that he has, because he can't throw all the passes. Whatever, dude. It is what it is. But please, you could. What do you think Lamar Jackson would have had even half the success that he's had in Baltimore here? Not a chance. Not a chance. So, anyway, Ray says, howdy, all. Looks like Tua listed his Davy mini mansion on sale. I still think that he is over the wedding planner coach and his hip as well. We're going to find out, bro. We're going to find out if he's going to walk away with the money and just go retire in Hawaii and it's over for him, or he Belinda Carlisle's or Kelly Clarkson's the bitch. And he goes and works on his body and he comes out and is a new man. You know what I'm saying? Which I doubt it, but, whatever. We'll see, because that hip doesn't look good, bro. That's it. And Dolphin Dave, clown football for 45 years is pretty much what we've been seeing. Yeah. What else? Had a great time seeing Tua as a Miami Dolphin. Great memories with him. Had the Dolphins fun to watch. And then the majority of my road game memories are with him. Thanks for the memories, says Anthony. Sam the Man says, noodle arm Tua. Big O, is it true that the Dolphins did want to draft Joe Flacco, but the Ravens jumped in front of them? I have no idea. Zero clue if that's true. But that's who I wanted over Henne. I wanted them to get Flacco the year of Henne, because that's the same year. Chad Henne and Joe Flacco were the same year. And I wanted Joe Flacco that year. What else? Let's see. Do you think Tua is better than Herbert? No, not right now. He's broken. Not at all. I don't want either guy, because, again, I don't want an athletic Jeff George. You can have the athletic Jeff George. You can have both of them now at this point, a broken Tua and the athletic Jeff George. I'll go with what I wanted that day in the draft, my brother. Go look at the video. It's all there. I wanted Tristan Wirfs. That was the right pick. Not Herbert and not Tua. Tristan Wirfs was the right pick. You can go look at the video. There you go. Look at the video, and the video will tell you everything that's happened. I said, you could draft Tua. He can pass the ball, but he's got a long injury history. You better build a hell of a line in front of him and all that kind of stuff. Did they build a hell of a line in front of him? No. Did he continue to have injuries? Yes. Is he a hell of a passer? Yeah. But if you don't protect him, you're done. You're done. So it is what it is. Hey, bro, it's the same thing. It's the Dolphins ruining another player. Bro, they made Ricky Williams retire. Okay? Ricky Williams is like, enough of this shit. These people can't find a quarterback, and all they want to do is give me the ball 400 times. I'm leaving, and I'm smoking weed. That's all you need to know, dude. That's all you need to know. So keep trying to point fingers at other players and all that, and you don't point fingers at the organization. That's the amazing part. It's like a cowardly act that some of you have, that you just don't see what the real problem is. You know what I mean? And then you just overlook it and then just say, all right, we got to get our next quarterback. Really? That's going to solve it? Okay. Because I hear that already. Oh, we got to find the next quarterback. Really? Okay. All right. You don't have an owner. You don't have a GM. You don't have a head coach. You don't have a really good offensive mind, but you got to go find the next quarterback. Okay. So you didn't have the front office that could help Marino, and you didn't have the front office and the head coach that could help Tua. You didn't even have the front office that could maximize Tannehill. But no, let's go get the quarterback because that'll solve the owner's problem, the head coach problem, the GM problem, the offensive coordinator problem. That'll solve everything. Let's go get the quarterback. That's what you're hearing now from the neophytes on radio and from people writing. Because, of course, small-minded. So let's just stay in the small-minded thinking. Because, oh no, of course, let's go trade for the Cuban kid. First of all, you have no shot at getting the Cuban kid. And what do you do if you get the Cuban kid? You'll probably ruin the poor kid because you don't have the offensive line that can block. There's no pass blocking here. I'm sorry, did you fix that? No. Did you fix the offensive coordinator? No. Did you fix the head coach? No. But no, let's just go draft. Let's go trade the house because, it's unrealistic. It's never going to happen. But let's go trade for the Cuban kid because, that'll solve all the problems. He solved all the problems for you. I remember when he took over, William Judson all of a sudden could play, and Paul Langford and Jay Brophy could tackle people. And, I get it. And Aubrey Beavers actually had talent, and, and Earthquake Blake was going to be phenomenal because you had this guy. This guy was going to erase all of that. He was going to make up for the fact that you had Tom Olivadotti. Can you be any more stupid? I'm just asking on behalf of a friend. Can you be any more stupid? Because that's what I hear now. Oh, man. We need to get the quarterback. That'll fix it. That'll fix it. Yeah. Let's get the quarterback. Yeah. Anyway, I think if Savania was a better pass blocker, James Daniel didn't get hurt, and McDaniel was a better at play designing, clock management, game management, Tua would have done better. And if I had wheels, I'd be a bicycle. And if my grandmother had balls, she'd be my grandfather. Yeah, I get all of that. You know the if game that we could play with the Dolphins for 30, 40 years? If Kim Bocamper hung on to the interception. I wonder. I watched Kurt Warner's video. It was amazing how shitty McDaniel's play calling is. Kurt Warner explains to you how no quarterback can really succeed with that passing game and how it's designed and all that. And that's why I am leaving that caveat out. That either one, he's not going to tell you he's so injured that he can't really be that guy anymore. So he's going to play it out, play shitty, whatever, play his best, but it's shitty. And he's going to get his money and walk away. Or he's tired of all this shit. And he's like, let me just play my way out of this place. So I'm forced, I get my money because screw them. And I'll go redo my body and I can get the hell out of here. It's one of those two. It's one of those two. And I understand all of you out there that hate Tua, that didn't want Tua. You're convinced that he'll never come back because, it's the only way you want it. Right? I mean, that's what you're rooting against the guy. All of you out there, you're only rooting against him because you didn't like him from the get-go. So it's just a bunch of bias coming out. That's all it is. You know what I mean? But that's all right, dude. It's not like Drew Brees didn't resurrect himself, and other quarterbacks in the history of time have resurrected themselves. And, Kurt Warner kind of found a funk in the Giants and then went to Arizona and resurrected himself. And so, things happen. It happens. Sometimes people better themselves and they go other places and they get away from bad situations. The problem is we have a lot of people in the Dolphin Nation that are not willing to admit that the real problem is the organization, not the players. All players would actually do better if the organization was better. But hey, let's blame every player that comes through here for all the shortcomings constantly of the franchise. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Anyway, I respectfully disagree that a QB doesn't solve everything. A QB elevates the talent around him. I know, bro. I mean, did you see how Marino elevated that defense? Javier, did you watch how Marino made the running game dominant every year, dude? Did you watch that? I mean, yeah, dude, you are so right, my brother. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he controls that whole D-line. Because Jalen Carter has Jalen's name, you're right, dude. He elevates. Yeah, Jalen Hurts elevates his team. Yeah, his team doesn't elevate Jalen Hurts, but no. You're right, sir. Jalen Hurts, he makes Barkley better. He makes Brown better on the outside. Dude, you are so right, bro. He elevates Goddard. Bro, I miss that. After all these years of following sports and following football, dude, I'm an idiot. I missed out how this guy made Tony Nathan a 1,500-yard runner, or Higgs a 1,500-yard runner. How stupid am I, bro? I mean, Marino elevated Paul Langford to Hall of Fame status, bro. That guy's right. You get the quarterback and it changes everything. Of course, because Matt Stafford used to elevate the Detroit Lions every year, sir. In fact, he elevated him so much that he was called the choker, that he was a guy that never performed in big moments. But then he went to the Rams, and then he elevated the Rams to another level, because it's all Matt Stafford, sir. You're correct. Of course. Yeah, man. You're so right. Just get the quarterback and everything changes. You sound like Joe Rose when he and I were going back and forth about Ndamukong Suh. And he came at me with the same stupid ass thing because he's got a little fan in him. He's a former player, but he still has fan. But it's good because it connects with fans where he does, he plays that little game. I don't play the game, as you can tell. I'll just cut your ass off. He did the same thing. Oh, Ndamukong Suh is going to make our defense dominant. I was like, bro, he didn't make Detroit dominant. Did you watch? And did he make the defense dominant? No, he didn't. Yeah. Bob Greasy, by the way, really elevated Zonka, Kick, and Morris. And he made Larry Little and all these guys actually really block. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, without Bob Greasy, Jake Scott is nothing. Manny Fernandez, he can't play without Bob Greasy. It's impossible. Paul Warfield, he would have had Butterfingers without Bob Greasy. Yeah. The things that some of you say out there, there's a reason why we are in this place in this country. There's a reason. Yeah. Oh, Big O is cooking in the Jalen Hurts comparison. Couldn't agree more. I mean, come on, bro. What kind of stupid shit is that? Yeah, your quarterback can elevate a couple moments and stuff like that, but it ain't going to make you block any better. It ain't going to make you run the ball. It's not going to make you stop anybody. It's not going to control if you have good coaches or bad coaches. I mean, Matt Stafford is the best example. Matt Stafford now viewed with the Rams is completely different than the Matt Stafford in Detroit. The Matt Stafford in Detroit was, oh, dude, the guy's got a great arm or whatever, but man, what a choker. This, that. No, it's that Detroit was a shit franchise. And Detroit doesn't elevate anybody. They don't help their team. They don't help their players. And the Dolphins and the Jets and the Browns and the Raiders, and they're all the same, dude. The Arizona Cardinals, these are all the same kind of franchises. They just have different logos, but they're all the same garbage. They don't ever turn into great organizations and really elevate their players and put them all in positions to succeed. How many? By the way, that guy that just said the stupidity of elevating the quarterback. I'm sorry, Sean. Howie Roseman. I'm sorry. What have I said about Howie Roseman's championships? You want to help me out there?
He can replace the head coach and
there we go.
the quarterback. He can replace the head coach and the quarterback.
Yeah, he's made the quarterback and the head coach interchangeable, my friend. Who the fuck is Nick Foles and Jalen Hurts? They're nothing special, dude. But they were surrounded by special. Who the hell is Panini, whatever? What the hell's the name of the guy for the Eagles now? It's like
that'd be Nick Sirianni.
Sirianni, whatever it is. Okay, it's a sandwich. And Peterson. Those two guys look like you, like great coaches to you. They look like game changers. By the way, for you, the quarterback will elevate. Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks, and none of them were Hall of Famers. Okay? Joe Flacco can buy a ticket for the Hall of Fame, but he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. But he won a Super Bowl. Okay? Peyton Manning did not elevate the Denver Broncos to a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know how many examples and education I got to give you. But just so you'll know, don't ever say that again because it's stupid. Okay? Your quarterback can produce in big moments. He doesn't elevate the whole team. Okay? The team elevates the quarterback. The team puts the quarterback in a position to make those plays by blocking, by running, by defending, by controlling the field position, all of those things. Without all of those things, no quarterback will survive. That's why one guy looks different in Detroit than he does with the LA Rams. One guy looks different in San Diego than he did in New Orleans. One guy looks different in the Rams and in Arizona than he did when he was with the Giants. Okay? So your organization will elevate your players, including your quarterback. And there are slews of examples of quarterbacks that are not Hall of Famers and they've won. Trent Dilfer did not elevate a damn thing. He just facilitated and they won. Don't say stupid shit like that ever again. Let's see. True Finn fan, Fouts, Moon, Marino were good enough. Yeah, they were good enough. Exactly. They just didn't have the things around them to finish off the job. You know? So your argument is, let me get this straight, QBs are interchangeable so the Chiefs can... No, I didn't say that. You said that quarterbacks elevate everyone. And there you go again. Here you go. Here's proving you're stupid. So why didn't they win this year? Because Mahomes was on the team. And they were shit. Why didn't they win 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they didn't have an offensive line? Oh, because they didn't have an offensive line. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, proof is the QB has been interchangeable. The QB doesn't elevate everyone. That's stupid. That's dumb. If it was true, then you could go grab one guy. This isn't basketball, dude. Okay? In basketball, one guy can make that kind of a difference. In football, you just can't. You know? Joe Montana leaves San Francisco and goes to Kansas City. He made the playoffs, but he didn't win a Super Bowl. You're not elevating them to a Super Bowl status just because you're Joe Montana. You know? But Steve Young went on to win a Super Bowl in San Francisco because, I guess the coach switched one quarterback to another and his team was Super Bowl worthy. Interesting how San Francisco wins Super Bowls with two different quarterbacks, and the other guy that you say elevates went to Kansas City and didn't win a Super Bowl. You know. Javier, my brother, I forgot more football than you will ever know in your entire life, my brother. In your entire life. You can live 3 lifetimes and you won't know a fraction of football that I know, my brother. Okay? So, and history. You won't know it. So, but hey, good playing the game. Elway won because of Terrell Davis and the defense, but Elway didn't win shit. You know, there you go. This is a smart fan, JWR. He's probably an older fan too, but he went up against San Francisco and Washington and was getting his ass kicked. And then finally they got a defense and a running game, and John Elway won. And John Elway was always great. Always great. But you're not winning with Sammy Winder. Not that slapdick Javier Vasquez knows who even Sammy Winder is. Because, again, he doesn't know history of football. Doesn't get it. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right. You know, you're not winning with Sammy Winder. You're winning with Terrell Davis. And that's all right. That's all right. Again, my brother stepped into a minefield, and you got your ass blown up. Let's see. It was Cam Cameron's idea to play John Beck. Whatever it was, bro. That's so passé already at this point. So painful. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. All right? Please. Let's see. Finns can still make the playoffs if Mike Pence has the courage to do the right thing. I love that. That's awesome. That is a great line, dude. That is fantastic. Damn. I wish I could give you a shirt or something for that, man. That was great. That was funny. That was good. That was really, really good, man. Dizzy says, everybody thank Big O for teaching us morons. LOL. Bobby Humphrey got shot. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Yes, if you need custom printing and embroidery, Alan Blanco, he can elevate. Oh, he can elevate your business. Yeah, quarterbacks can't elevate your entire team, but Alan Blanco can elevate your business. 786-618-1443, custom printing and embroidery. The Miami Heat last night, they played a shitty team, so they got back on the winning track. They beat the Nets 106-95. Khalil Ware, 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Norman Powell, by the way, added 24 and 3 steals in the win. Tonight at 7, they continue. They are on the road on this back-to-back set in Boston. The Celtics favored by 6.5. The over and unders 233.5. Heat are plus 200 on the money line. Boston is minus 275. Last night, the Seahawks eked one out against the Rams, 38-37 in overtime. Seattle improves to 12-3. The Rams are 11-4. Sam Darnold, 22 of 34, 270, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Matt Stafford, 29-49, 457 and 3 touchdowns. Tonight, it is the Panthers back in action. They are hosting the Hurricanes. They are plus 100 on the money line. The Hurricanes are minus 120. The Cats are mighty hot, baby. They have won 6 of 7. All right. And they're right there and joining the playoff race, which is really, really cool. Saturday at noon, the University of Miami will visit Texas A&M. Texas A&M is favored by 2.5. The over and under is 48. The number 10 team in the country, UM, is plus 130 on the money line. Texas A&M, number 7 in the country, are minus 150 on the money line. Saturday at 7:30, Fort Lauderdale United is home, and they're hosting Spokane Zephyr FC as they wrap up the first half of the season. Come on out and join us in Davie. Get your tickets there at ftlutd.com. Saturday at 5 o'clock, the Eagles and the Commanders, and Saturday at 8:20 in the NFL, the Packers and the Bears, and also the Miami Dolphins on Sunday will take on the Bengals. The Bengals are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 47.5. Quinn Ewers gets the start. The Dolphins are plus 175 on the money line. The Bengals are minus 210 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. All right. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Hateful Steve is in the house. He says, if Tua gave up this season and his teammates clearly didn't, does that say anything about him as a leader, or do you think it's okay to quit on your team, like you said, are playing hard for their contracts so they can get paid too? No, it's not. It's not right what he's doing at all. It's not right what he's doing, but it is what he's doing. I'm not telling you that he's working hard here and he's all in, because it does not look like it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make it right, but it doesn't mean it's not what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And you have created an environment for this, unfortunately. And that's how many players have come here to steal money? So the kid busted his ass for a bunch of years, and now he's given up and wants to get the hell out of this place. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it, but it's what's going on. Stephen Baker, thank you for the love on Venmo. He says Lamar Jackson pees himself in the playoffs. My granddaughter heard that, and she said to give him a pull-up. She is 3. Thank you, my brother. And Hateful Steve says, I can speak for the Tua haters when I say that we're not sitting here thinking Ewers is the answer. So if he bombs Saturday, spare us the I told you so. We're just happy to be moving on, even if the happy feeling doesn't last long. Hateful Steve, if he doesn't play well, I already said it. I said it yesterday. I'm not blaming him. He doesn't have an offensive line that can block. He doesn't have an offensive coordinator that knows how to call a damn game. So I don't even know if he's going to get the plays in on time for Ewers. I'm not even sure he's going to play to Ewers' strengths. I see Ewers at a huge disadvantage because of Mike McDaniel, and that's consistent. He did it with Huntley. As I've mentioned many times over, he waited till the 4th start for Huntley to start running. First 3 weeks, he was running the Tua offense with Snoop Huntley, who cannot run it. So I'm not blaming anything on Ewers. I'm just sad for the kid that he's got to get a start in this situation with that guy on the sidelines. That's all. Okay? Just like lots of you are done with Tua, that's fine. Well, I've been done with McDaniel forever, dude. Forever I've been done with McDaniel. And this is why I worry about Ewers getting TUA'd. It's in the headline. So he's up now. So is this shitty coach? Is he going to get plays in on time? Are guys going to line up right? Are they going to run the right routes? You tell me. Is he going to stick to the run? knowing you got a young quarterback, dude, run the hell out of the ball, assist him, give him some opportunities for play action. So are you going to get like Huntley got TUA'd? Like Skylar Thompson was under Mike McDaniel for 2.5 years. And we had no idea that he couldn't play. Hell, he couldn't even make a handoff. Do you guys remember that? He couldn't even hand off the ball. This is all under the tutelage of Mike McDaniel. So I am terrified for Ewers. If he has success, again, I will repeat it and I will stay consistent. If he has success, it's in spite of McDaniel, not because of McDaniel. I've been consistent with that with Tua, and I've been consistent with that, and I'll be consistent with that with Ewers, because this is a terrible coach. This is the coach that last week started with a pass and got cute and got away with it. And then on the next first down, he started with another pass again. And there you go. You were in 2nd and long, and all before you know it, you were out of it. Because then you put an obvious run in that 2nd down, and then that puts you in 3rd and long, and it puts you behind the 8 ball. That's who this coach is. So that's what I want to know. Is Ewers going to get TUA'd today or on Sunday? Like Huntley has, like Skylar Thompson has, like every quarterback. Okay? I watch the team all the time, every play, every single game, unlike Mike Greenberg, who doesn't know jack shit and probably depends mostly on his producers giving him the information at ESPN. And he's the idiot that goes out and says, oh, I'd like to see Mike McDaniel with another quarterback. Well, that's already happened, dumbass. And we've watched it over and over again. This is a bad coach. So we're going to find out if he's going to get TUA'd. Because I've been watching poor Tua get TUA'd by Dan McDaniel. And, by the way, Flo, too, at the same time. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always. And we appreciate that immensely. Thank you. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. And we always appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. What else do we have here going on? Bitcoin's at 87,936. So hanging around the 88 area. And the market, the Dow is up 271 points. The S&P is up 51. And the NASDAQ is trying to make it up to a point, actually. All right. What else do we have? Big O, on the national news, people have called for Mike McDaniel to get fired, but I fear Stephen Ross will hire a head coach that will be worse than Mike McDaniel. We should not be celebrating. It doesn't matter to me. You know, I'm not going to worry about what that is going to happen. We'll talk about it when it happens. And listen, man, all I know is that Ross doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And if you haven't figured that out after 15 years, you know what I mean? You can go ahead and lie to yourself if you want, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So Ross is a clown. And until proven otherwise, he will always be a clown. Big O, I'd say about 99% of football fans don't understand what you just said about McDaniel and Ewers. Well, you know, but they've lived it. So, I don't know. All you got to do is watch what's going on. The problem is when you have people like, you know, Mike Greenberg, who doesn't really watch the team and then says shit, and then people locally are retweeting that stupid shit, and instead of retweeting it, they should be correcting him like I did. This is what we have. And then you have like a Dan Orlovsky, who, a couple weeks ago said, "Oh, look out, the Dolphins are a dangerous team." What are you watching, bro? It's like, what are you watching? And then you have some people like Mike McDaniel must have made some friends in high places, because there's a bunch of media members that are just dying for him to succeed. Because somehow or another, they started trying to phrase it like he's a good coach or something, like he's worthy of coming back or something. It's like, have you not watched this for 4 years? And that clouds our fan bases, because people are kind of lazy, and then they listen to Orlovsky and they think he knows something, which he doesn't. And all of a sudden, oh, well, maybe the Dolphins are better than what I... No, they're not, dude. Do you not watch them? I mean, those of you that watch the Dolphins every day, every game, you keep up with everything, you know more than the national people. The national people do not watch every down like you do and I do. There's no national person that's going to tell me more about the Dolphins than I know. There's not one of them. They might be able to break a story, but know about the team? Please. I forgot more about the Dolphins than everybody at ESPN combined. Give me a break. Okay? They got their hookup with an agent and they want to break a story. That's fine, but you're not going to tell me what the Dolphins are and what they're going to be or whatever. Give me a break. So that's the problem we have also. Let's see. Big O last season, week 1 versus the Jags. I said in a post game, even though we won it felt like a loss because of McDaniel's game management and play calling, and you ripped me a new one. I don't even remember that game anymore. Beating the Jags. I don't even remember that game. So I don't know why I would rip you or not rip you. In 2023, no one was criticizing McDaniel's offense. They were running the ball, and Tua was slinging it. Yeah, you didn't listen to this show. Yeah, I've been killing the guy forever for not running the ball. And by the way, the Mostert year is not running the ball. You had runs, but you didn't run the ball. Okay? That's example, that year against the Ravens. I still remember it to this day. A run of 6 by Mostert, a run of 3 by Mostert, a run of 5 by Mostert, a run of 4 by Mostert, and then two pass plays. We got to the other side of the field, and it did 2 pass plays, and the second one ended up in a turnover because he got cute because the running game was working, and then he abandoned it. And I know of the game against the Green Bay Packers or the Buffalo Bills when you were averaging 7 and 9 yards, and he abandoned it. So the problem with blank boat is that you weren't listening to this show. So don't say no one was criticizing McDaniel, because I've been criticizing McDaniel for a while now. For a while. Okay? Yeah. So wrong, and wrong again. Okay? Couldn't be more wrong. The national media is a joke when it comes to the Dolphins. You still have Screaming A saying Flores wanted to draft Herbert. Yeah, well, he's a moron. He doesn't know shit. I mean, listen, first of all, Screaming A Smith doesn't know anything outside of basketball. Okay? He doesn't even know in football the players that are playing or players that are retired or what. He doesn't know jack shit. He's a moron when it comes to football. But because he's a $15, $20 million mouthpiece for ESPN, the idiot has got himself involved in every single thing that goes on in that stupid network. So they have him commenting on everything when he doesn't know it. And he doesn't know football. But again, that's on you all for watching Stephen A in the first place. I don't watch Screaming A for shit. I don't know what he says because I don't watch it. When I see Screaming A, I turn it off because I know it's just a clown show. It's just a bit that he's playing. And like I told you, I'm not here for shtick. It's not what I do. I know that's what they do on radio. Here locally, plenty of people, they do the shtick. I get it. It's fine. It's what goes. It's what flows. It's what people like. That's good. That's just not me. I'm not going to do that. Okay? Just not going to do that. So I know it's attractive for fans. I get it because it plays with your emotions and you guys like it, but not my style. All right, let's do it. Let's find out what's going on, what the wise guys are up to now, because now we have two wise guys. Okay, we have the wise guy giving us our picks, and then we've got Steve Calabro now that is also going to give us some picks. So let's go straight to the open for our wise guy picks.
Big O, I don't believe there's two wise guys. There's one Jersey wise guy, and then there's two Jersey guys. I'm not a wise guy. My mother would be very disappointed.
Aren't you automatically a wise guy if you're from Jersey?
Well, according to where my neighborhood where I grew up, you had to choose to be a wise guy, and my mother begged me not to go that way because that was a bad way. So I went straight in the arrow. I'm close to a wise guy, but I'm not a real wise guy. Now, the Jersey wise guy, he's legit. He's legit. But I'm going to tell you, I am challenging him. So now I'm challenging a wise guy. This is dangerous stuff. This is dangerous stuff in Jersey. You can get in trouble. You can get in trouble for that. But I'm feeling good about it. So what do you want? You want the wise guys picks? I'll do it. Wise guys first, and then Jersey Steve's guys picks.
Yes.
Here we go. So the wise guy, he's got the Chargers over the Cowboys. It's in Dallas. I kind of think that the Chargers are going to beat the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are so-so. They have a couple good games, but
+2 at the Cowboys.
Yeah. Chargers +2 at the Cowboys. I think the Chargers are going to win. I think, but that's the Jersey wise guy pick. I'm okay with that. What do you think?
The problem with that game is you don't know who's going to show up on the Dallas side.
That's a fact, but I think Dallas has shown the wrong team has shown up more times than the right team. So you go with the odds.
Last couple of weeks they went back to being the Dallas Cowboys. Whereas a couple of weeks they went and beat two of the better teams in the league, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Wow, and then all of a sudden they lose the last two, and you're like, okay. It's a Cowboy thing. They're gonna, pull off a couple wins here and there because it is what it is. But they're going to be who they are. I don't know if I would touch that game, to be quite honest. They have so many injuries too.
If you're not touching that game, the next game's even worse. I think. I don't even know why he's betting this. I think the Jersey wise guy has lost his mind. I think he's distracted or something. But anyhow, he's got the Giants +2.5. over the Vikings. Now, I don't know. J.J. McCarthy had a pretty good game last week. I don't know. Could go. It is in. I think it's in New York, and I don't know. I don't like that game. I mean, I don't like that game. I don't like that pick. I think the Vikings could easily kill the Giants.
So he's got the Giants +2.5 versus the Vikings.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I don't like that game because I don't trust the Giants, and Minnesota is the better franchise, the better roster.
Yeah,
J.J.
McCarthy, better coach.
McCarthy either, but he's got the better roster on his side. That's the only thing.
I really believe in the Viking coach too. I think he's an excellent coach.
Yeah. Kevin O'Connell's good. He just isn't a quarterback right now.
Yeah,
he's worked miracles with all kinds of guys, but he hasn't found the guy this year that he can really work a miracle with. And I don't buy J.J. McCarthy. So and for me, as much as I think Jackson Dart has got a chance to actually be a decent player, the way he plays, dude, he's
matter of time. Yeah. But
he doesn't. So
The next one, I agree with him. It's actually one of my picks. We have an overlap. I purposely did it where I did my picks and then I had him send me his. So he likes, and I like too. This is a Jersey Wise Guy pick and a Steve pick, Casino Steve pick. Pats plus 2.5 over the Ravens. I think the Pats are going to be. I know it's in Baltimore, but I think the Pats are very well coached. I think they're on a roll. I know they lost to Buffalo, but that game could have gone either way with one or two plays. I think the Pats are a very good team. They could actually go very deep into the playoffs too.
Oh, I love this game. I love this game. I have no respect for the Ravens. I don't. It's a running team. You stop their run. Lamar isn't going to beat you with his arm, dude. He's not a quarterback. He's an athlete playing the quarterback back there. Plus, he can't. It doesn't look like he's running like he used to. So I like New England. They're the better team overall. They've got the better quarterback, the better passer. So I'm with you. Plus, I'm getting 2.5 on this. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's a good one. So now I'm going to go into my picks. But remember, that my picks coming from little old Steve Caliber. But remember, Hialeah Park Casino.
That's right.
We do have the best $200,000 Ace King Royal jackpot probably in the state of Florida in poker. We've got a great $100,000 bad beat. We got raffles every day. I'm telling you, this is the place to be in terms of playing poker. We've got some great table games. We've got some great, both down on the slot floor. We've added some table games downstairs. And oh, by the way, Big O, Mercedes-Benz on December 31st. I mean, what a way to bring in the new year with a nice new Mercedes-Benz. And on a side note, unrelated to Hialeah Park's great promos and great reasons to come out and gamble, I was watching a television show. It's an odd television show. And it's just about these $1 million condo buyers. It's called Sirhan. The guy sells these $20 million condos. And he's out of New York, but he's got an office in Miami, and they have the Mercedes-Benz condo building being built in Miami. And it looked cool, which just tells you the brand is super powerful. Mercedes is just a cool brand. And we're giving one away on New Year's Eve. So that's a nice one. I think you should be here on New Year's Eve.
I will be there.
There you go. There you go. So, like I said, Pats plus 2.5 over Baltimore. That's a Casino Steve pick.
Okay, we got one of the three. All right, go ahead.
I happen to like Atlanta over Arizona. I think Arizona has given up, and Arizona's only getting 2.5 points. I think Atlanta's going to beat them. I really do. I think that Kirk Cousins is pedestrian enough to beat a lowly Arizona beat up team. I really do believe that. That's how Kirk Cousins makes all that money. He beats those crappy teams and gets, he probably has about a 500 record, in his life. And I think
Atlanta's team, like their talent, they got a decent roster. Actually, I like this pick actually. And I'm with you. Arizona, Jabroni is trying his best, but he is a jabroni. So yeah, I'm with you. I like Atlanta minus 2.5. I can see them easily winning by a field goal in this game. Sure.
I think they're going to win outright. I think they're going to win by more than a field goal. The next one is an easy pick of a win-loss, but I am taking a risk here. But I believe in it, and maybe I'm just picking on really crappy teams. And I do apologize to Harold, our Hialeah Park Casino poker marketing manager. But I got Houston over the Raiders. I think the Raiders, if I think that Arizona gave up, look, the Las Vegas Raiders gave up 6 weeks ago, and I don't even know if half the guys are going to show up on the game day, let alone, physically show up. This is a team. So I'm giving up 14 points. Yeah. I think Houston's going to win, 30-3 or something like that, and it's going to be like a boring game. You know what I mean? That's what I think is going to happen. So
I actually believe you on that one, and like giving up 14 points is insane. But when you look at what the Raiders are, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, and by the way, Tom Brady is such a great GM 2 years in, bro. I mean,
Yeah, telling it. Just really making all those really personnel calls that we need, that the Raiders need. Listen.
We got to take a moment to congratulate Tom Brady. I mean, he is one hell of a personnel guy, bro. I mean,
there you go. But wait a second.
He's sure they him. Hey, we're going to sign Geno Smith. What? Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, Geno's good. We're going to sign Carroll, and we're going to bring him with some depends. Is that? Yeah, no, that's actually. We're going to take Austin Genty at running back, like at 5, and he's a bust. Yeah, no, let's go. Yeah, no, I mean, there was a lot of good decisions made by Tom Brady and the Raiders.
I think it's just we could probably write a book about it, but I think he's following the footsteps in another sport of Derek Jeter. Great ball player, but man, you put him in the GM position, apparently it's clearly a different set of skills. Different set of skills needed to perform well. And both guys, Brady, that whole thing, that something is drastically wrong with the Las Vegas Raider franchise right now. And I think the fix is a 5-year fix if you really, really focus on it. And I'm not sure they're that focused. So
whether it's the Raiders or the Browns or the Dolphins or the Jets or the Arizona Cardinals, the common denominator in all of those is the ownership.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there last night. I started the show with this, and I'm watching the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm watching an ownership group that had their run, tore it down. Now they're back, and they got a really good team. I'm watching the Rams, who won a championship, tore it down, and they're back, and they're trying to win another one. And I'm looking at the Dolphins at 15 plus years under Stephen Ross, and they've never gotten even close to doing anything, much less tear it down and rebuild it. The Patriots had the best coach in the NFL, got rid of him, got rid of his replacement 1 year later, and went and got Vrabel, and already have their quarterback, and they're already turning it around. Ownership is everything. And constant is all those bad teams that you keep looking around the league. Look at who owns them, dude.
Yeah, they're committed. They're committed to something. It's not just committed to money. They're committed to winning. Right. And there's a difference there. Look, my plea to Stephen Ross is pretty simple. Just watch that fourth quarter of this past week's game. I mean, Troy Aikman he was trying to be polite about it, but he was basically saying the Dolphins don't know what the hell they're doing. Their coach is a mess. Their quarterback's a mess. And obviously he's been benched. But this is a whole.
Well, we got national idiots, and some guys locally might be drinking the Kool-Aid too. That because of the win streak, they're thinking like McDaniel's saving his season, or like, have you not watched this man coach for 4 years? Do you not know what the hell you're watching? Like, there is no reason to keep this clown around. And just because of a 4-game streak, dude, you're not watching, you're not paying attention. This is a bad coach.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback, but he's 42 years old. And he's certainly not as great as he used to be 10 or 12 years ago. But this past week, Mike McDaniel made Aaron Rodgers look like a monster killer. This guy, he made Aaron Rodgers, he made it easier for Aaron Rodgers to look spectacular and I just think that Stephen Ross, I plead to him, Mike McDaniel, watch that fourth quarter. He just messed up like not once or twice. It was like a dozen times on national television. Guys that are pretty, not controversial, were trying to be polite about it because it was just so dysfunctional as in terms of a head coach, an NFL head coach. So I think Tua's done too. I think Tua literally said, "Hey, I signed a $212 million deal. I picked up about $100 million of that. That's sort of enough generational money for me. Maybe I can get another $50 million on the way out. I'm done." And his play has regressed to a level like I haven't seen that in many years, where his quarterback play is just horrible. Just really, really horrible. And I guess he's like, who cares? Now, Quinn Ewers, I'm rooting for him. I'm sort of, that's like rooting for the underdog, the poor guy. Like Quinn Ewers is an interesting guy. They're going to have him start. Here's a guy that, had a pretty good senior year, beat out Archie Manning, in a pretty controversial, quarterback competition. Goes 13-3 at Texas, gets him into the top 4 in terms of their game, and nobody likes him. Nobody in the NFL likes this guy. I mean, 7th round pick. There's a chance he wouldn't have got drafted. I don't think many other teams were going to take this guy. Certainly, they all passed on him. So I don't know. I mean, I'm rooting for Ewers in a sense that he's a good person. He's a pretty good athlete, and he'd be a good underdog story. But I don't think it's really going to happen.
This coach who is really not a good coach, so it's going to be a rough one. It is what it is. All right, so wise guy picks. He's got the Chargers +2, Giants +2.5, and the Patriots +2.5. He's taking all the dogs. Casino Steve is going with the Patriots +2.5, Atlanta -2.5, and Houston -14. Those are the selections for the week.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, Big O. I'm feeling real good about it. I'm feeling Mercedes-like. I'm feeling $200,000 Ace King Royal-like. I'm feeling real positive about that. Come out to Hialeah Park, bet on the Hialeah Park Sports app. Yeah. I'm feeling good about my picks.
Yeah, I don't like the first 2 wise guy picks. They're too risky. Those are, if he pulls them off, thank God. He needs it, by the way, because he's.
Man, he's one under 500 right now. So he's not having the year. He's having like a Mike McDaniel's year compared to last year when he was having like a Dan Campbell year. Yeah. But anyhow, boss, I appreciate everything.
You got it.
And good luck this weekend. Have a good one.
We'll catch up on Tuesday. See you there at Hialeah. Be good.
All right. Take care. Bye.
My friend. There you go. The great Steve Calabro. You got the wise guy and Casino Steve's picks. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Tua gave me fun memories, fun era in a while, and most of the road games he was a QB. Ruth Chris gift card for Bengals tickets. Any takers? Let's see. Big O, are you going to the Dolphins game with a clown pitcher Sunday with Mike McDaniel and Stephen Ross? Yeah, you probably won't catch me at a Dolphins game for a long, long time, bro. Unless it's a playoff or a Super Bowl, you're not going to catch me anywhere near a Dolphins game. Just watch it on television. True FinFan says, been listening to Big O for years since I was a young teenager with my uncle, Sean. So many come and go because they can't handle the truth. To this, I say cheers. I mean, we just try to keep it real, man, no matter what. Just try to keep it real. I wonder, did Tyreek Hill hold a peace sign when the cops flattened him on the ground? 2 years ago, Tua played well, but towards the end of the season, he choked as he always has when we needed him. Yeah, that's a team thing, not necessarily an individual thing. The team was, dog shit as it is. Let's see, bro, in 2023, no one was criticizing. Oh, I already read that one. Just trying to pick and choose a couple. What's my blueprint? How would you fix the Dolphins? My brother, I can't fix the Dolphins. Neither can you. None of us can fix the Dolphins. Do you know why? You need a new owner. That's it. You need a new owner. If you don't have a new owner, then what do you got? You're not getting anything. It's like let's just go get the quarterback and we'll fix everything. No, you won't. First of all, you won't find him because there's none out there right now. This is going to be a terrible year. The Mendoza kid is the only one that's draftable right now. A lot of them are going back. So you're not going to have a large selection of quarterbacks. You're picking at 11 right now, so you're not going to be picking anywhere near that. The free agent list is weak as hell. No QB's fixing this. But more than anything, it's the owner. I just told you what New England did. I showed you what the Rams have done. I showed you what Seattle has done. You know, look at the new Washington ownership. They're turning that around already. It's just, sorry. That's the only way to fix the Dolphins is to get a new owner. But you can't get a new owner. They make too much money. They'll never sell. So we're stuck with the Ross family. So if you're stuck with the Bidwells, or you're stuck with not Al Davis. What is Al Davis's son's name? Whatever, the other Davis boy. If you're stuck with Johnson from the Jets, if you're stuck with Sherman from the Marlins, I'm sorry, what changes? What changes? I must have missed that. What changes? That's the hard truth, isn't it? Right? Because that stops you from lying to yourself to say, oh, no, we'll get a quarterback and everything will change. No, it won't. No, it won't. You're a liar. So if we can't change the owner, how can we change the team? Right? If you can't change Bruce Sherman, how are you ever going to win with the Marlins? You're not. So, unfortunately, your owner has to know what he's doing. And we have an owner that has no clue what he's doing and has nobody around him. Nobody. Nobody. Because trust me, over the last 15 years, all those people that are around him, he's asked them for advice. That's all. Who are we kidding, man? So you want to change his team? You want to change the direction? Change the owner, bro. We can't do that. That puts us in a really difficult situation, dude. Really difficult situation. Sucks. All right, let me do a little music. Always love doing a little music. All righty. Let's go with musicians born on December 19th. All right, here we go. Chris Hamill, Lamal from Kajagoogoo, the singer, born in 58. John McEwen from the country rock band, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Little Mr. Bojangles, born in 49. Jimmy Bain, bass guitarist with Rainbow and Dio, also worked with Thin Lizzy, Phil Lynott, co-writing on his solo albums. He was born in 47. Alvin Lee, lead vocalist and guitarist with 10 Years After, born in 44. The great, the phenomenal, the heart and soul of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Rest in peace, sir. You are a monster. Maurice White. Without Maurice White, there is no Earth, Wind, and Fire. They can continue and all that, but you can't continue without Maurice White, bro. Rest in peace, sir. Damn it. He was good, bro. Good. Born in 1941. What a freaking talent. Let's see who else. Nope, that's it for musicians. Now let's go with other famous people born on the 19th. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away. Baseball Hall of Fame member Ford Frick, born in 1894. Musician Little Jimmy Dickens, born in 1920. Actress Cicely Tyson, born in 1924. Is Cicely Tyson the mother of Whitney Houston, right? Is that how it goes? Baseball Hall of Famer Al Kaline, born in 1934. Actor Tim Reed, born in 44. He is 81 today from WKRP. Actor Robert Ulrich, I love Vegas back in the day, born in 46, rest in peace. Actor Mike Lookingland, born in 1960. He is 65. Actress Jennifer Beals, born in 63. She is 62. She still owns the hottest restaurant scene ever in movie history. Ever. Jennifer Beals, Flashdance restaurant scene. Google it. If you don't know it, now you do. Let's see. Magician Chris Angel, born in 67. He's 58. Actress Christy Swanson, born in 69. She's 56. Wow, she's 56. Damn. Model actor Tyson Beckford, born in 70. He's 55. Actress Alyssa Milano, born in 72. She's 53. Actor Jake Gyllenhaal, born in 80. He's 45. And that is it. Sean Stanley. Do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. Delirious turns 45. Eric Watts is 58. Joey Gonzalez is 28. And the great Mean Gene Okerlund was born on this date in 1942. That date, December 19th, 2025.
All right. Showed you my nasty elbow again. We're going to get it drained again on Tuesday. It's like 10 cc's. I think this one's going to be more. Does it look that bad on camera? Oh, like that, right? There. That's how it looks bad, right? That
yes,
angle?
It looks bad, yes.
That angle right there, huh? Shit looks nasty. But you know what? It doesn't affect anything. Bowling, throwing, whatever I'm doing, it doesn't affect my arm, at least. That's a good thing. But yeah, they should suck that pus out. Oh man. Let's see. Let's start off in 70. Elton John's first U.S. hit, Your Song, entered the Billboard 100, where it went on to reach number 8. The Hollies had been offered the song, and Three Dog Night had already recorded a version, which included on their It Ain't Easy album. In 1980, on this date, 9 to 5, starring Dolly Parton, featuring the classic theme song from the singer, where she used her fingernails as an instrument, opened in theaters. Parton, in her first acting role, starred alongside Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, as disgruntled secretaries who get even with their sexist boss. It's not a bad movie, actually. I think it would still hold up. The weed scene is funny between them, and then obviously dealing with Dabney Coleman in the room and the garage control thing and all. I mean, it has its moments, actually. I think it will still hold up if you watch it. In 81, on this date, the Cars peaked at number 9 on the Billboard 200 with their fourth album, Shake It Up. Hoo, hoo, Shake It Up. Went on to sell 2 million copies. In 87, singer-songwriter Paul Simon hosted Saturday Night Live simultaneously with the senator and then presidential candidate who bore the same name. In 97, Titanic opened up in theaters. It became the top grossing movie of all time with a soundtrack that sold over 15 million copies, thanks to mostly the Celine Dion hit, My Heart Will Go On. It's a great song. In 2000, 10,000 Maniacs guitarist Robert Buck died of liver failure at 42. He was best known for Hey Jack, Kerouac, and What's the Matter Here, and Candy Everybody Wants. I love 10,000 Maniacs. Huge fan of 10,000 Maniacs. I hated when she went on her own because, one, her music was never as good as it was with 10,000 Maniacs. It's a little mellow and, a couple hits, whatever, but the Maniacs, they had it going on, dude. I really enjoyed their music. Really enjoyed it. In 2006, Nas released his 8th studio album, Hip Hop is Dead. It features the singles Hip Hop is Dead and Can't Forget About You. Let me see if there's any birthdays sometimes on this list that the others did not have. Let's see. No. Nope. That's it. And that's what happened today in Musica history. Hey, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button, please. All right? Please smash the hell out of the like button. And don't forget, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Big O, when the season is over, will you play some more great sound bites? Yeah, we could do that when things slow down. I got to be honest, I cannot wait for these 3 games to be over. Really. I'm just so done with this season. Just tired of it, to be quite honest. So I can't wait till it ends. I can't wait till the pain ends already. She's a maniac on the dance floor. Joel says Stephen Ross is what I consider a sports dictator. Everyone around him suffers, but he's living a life lavish and rich. That is true. Yes, Jennifer Beals, shower in the chair classic. Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too. But the restaurant scene. She takes off her jacket. She's got absolutely nothing under that fake top. And the way she's eating that, is it shrimp or lobster? Oh, my God. And she was incredibly hot in those days. Gorgeous. Whew. O's wrestling career is over before it even started. Got to have an elbow. Oh, that's true. Yeah, without an elbow. People are going, oh, that's gross, bro. Don't show me that. It doesn't hurt, actually. It doesn't, even when they inject it and take this, it does not hurt at all. At all. They tried to do that with my knee. I didn't have any fluid in there, but he thought I might have had fluid. And, bro, I saw stars. Like everybody in the whole place heard me. Okay? This, I don't make a peep at all. It doesn't hurt at all. He sprays it with, it's probably that magical spray that they use in soccer. And he sprays it, and then he just injects, and it's out. And then you got to wrap it, and then I got to ice it a whole bunch for a couple of weeks. Oh, man. Pat in Asheville says, holy Jesus, warn us. Oh, 9,999 maniacs just wasn't the same. No, it wasn't. Now, if you don't have that 10,000th one, that Natalie 10,000th maniac, it just, In My Tribe is one of my favorite albums. Oh, In My Tribe is such a good album, dude. Such a good album. God, what is let me see. In My Tribe, and I put the track listing just so I can, let's see. What's the Matter Here? Hey, Jack Kerouac, Like the Weather. Don't Talk. Such a good song. Oh, my God. Don't Talk and the words to Don't Talk. Oh, man, because it's all about alcohol and all that. Peace Train is phenomenal. I mean, it is such City of Angels. It is such a good album. I agree. I agree. Definitely. Love the Maniacs. All that stuff early on was so good, man. So good. Good call by you, sir. What else do we have? Captain Saki is out in Tarpon Springs. Dougie Fresh. These last 3 games feel like David Lee Roth encore songs. Please just put it down the mic. Yes. What do you got, Sean? Is that? Oh, wait a minute. I guess this is late. I'm seeing it late. Okay. Anyway, crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Like the Weather, yes, another great song, definitely. I totally agree. The Dolphins have the 3rd best cheerleaders in the NFL. That's good news. Was there some rankings or something like that? Did some rankings come out of cheerleaders? Oh man, what a shame. Well, anyway. All right, folks, we're out of here. We appreciate you all. We thank, of course, the great Manny Navarro, David Furones, and Steve Calabro. We'll have all those segments up, all the wise guy picks for you, just in case you missed it. David Furones and Manny Navarro will also be posted. As always, we appreciate you all. Tomorrow, we're going to be live in Davie, all right, for the Fort Lauderdale United game against Spokane. That'll be at 7:30, but we're going to be on live from 4:30 to 6:30 tomorrow. So make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live. We'll have Manny Navarro on. It'll be our Hurricanes post-game show right after the U hopefully takes care of business against Texas A&M. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what you're hoping for. Let's get it done, bro. Let's get it done. All right, you. We'll see you all. And we thank Sean Stanley, by the way, the man, the myth, the legend, getting it done. We'll see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.